Hello and welcome to our video tutorial covering file export in ONTRAM. Exporting files in ONTRAM means that the system merges the content that was previously translated with the layout to create a translated file with the original source file format and structure. Privileged users are allowed to export files that passed through the workflow and are now ready to be downloaded and published. While most users working on a job always have the possibility to generate a preview of the file, exporting files is only possible for users with specific user rights. To export files in ONTRAM, your user account must at least have the assigned right to export the source file format. If a job contains more than one target language, there is also the possibility to directly export all languages in just one step. Therefore, your account must have the assigned right to export all PM jobs. This video will cover a situation where a job that was translated into 3 languages has just passed through the workflow and is now ready to be exported. There is also an additional InDesign document file waiting. After a privileged user receives an ONTRAM notification mail, he logs into the system to export the files. This video will cover 3 different use cases. The first use case will cover how to normally export and download a file in ONTRAM. The second use case will focus on how to start and export all target languages of a certain job in just one step. The third part of this video will cover the additional export settings working with certain file types. In this case, an InDesign document file. In this tutorial, we have a very simplified 3 steps workflow that allows the last user with a print roll to export and download the finished files. Michael, who works as a project manager for California Inc., has just received an ONTRAM notification mail that a job has been transferred to him. Michael is responsible for the print roll and therefore has the user right to export source file format and also the right to export all PM jobs. To export a file in ONTRAM, Michael accesses Job Selection. As you can see, Michael is now responsible for all languages of a job that was translated into French, Spanish, and German. As Michael wants to export the German file separately, he now selects Open. To finally export and download the file, Michael accesses the Preview Export menu located in the left navigation menu. Preview Export could also be accessed by selecting the icon in the upper control bar in the job editing area. Michael now has the possibility to either generate a preview of the document or to generate an export. As Michael wants to publish the file, he now selects Generate Export to start the generation. Once the file export is completed, it will appear under Completed Generations and a flashing notification will be displayed right next to the generation fields. Michael can now download the file by either clicking on the notification or by selecting Completed Generations. Clicking Completed Generations will open a separate window where Michael has the possibility to download the file by simply hitting the file icon. It is also possible to again download and display all generated exports from the past. To display previously generated exports, Michael simply chooses a time period by using the drop-down box. As Michael only wants to display all exports from last month, he sets Previous Month as a time period and unchecks Previews. To now download an older file, he again clicks on the archive icon. To directly export all target languages with just one click, Michael now switches back to Job Selection. To export all languages, Michael selects any language of a particular job and switches to Preview Export. He now selects Export All Languages to open the menu. He can now easily choose what content parts and languages should be generated. As we want to demonstrate a package containing all target languages, we keep all options checkmarked and finally start the generation. As you can see, there is again one generation in progress. After ONTRAM created the archive, Michael now downloads the file to access the folder content. After extracting the zip archive, Michael notices that every target language file is organized in its individual file folder, named after the target language code. After a final file check, Michael switches to the overview page to finally finish the workflow. As you can see, there is also the possibility to directly hand over all job languages in just one step. Simply hit Perform Task for multiple job languages and checkmark the languages you want to hand over. Finally hit Perform Task. Working with certain file types, like for example InDesign documents, gives the user additional options for exporting files. Therefore, Michael opens an InDesign job that passed through the workflow and is now ready to be exported. He again hits Preview Export to access the menu. As you can see, there are various settings Michael can choose from. It is possible to change line codes in styles, to highlight text with 100% memory, or marking text overruns. Michael also has the possibility to only generate a certain page of the document. In this case, Michael only wants to create the third page, so he changes the value in the drop-down box. He finally selects Generate Export to start the generation. After the files have been generated, Michael can now easily download the files. Please notice that generating an InDesign document file will automatically create an additional PDF preview of the finished file. We hope you enjoyed watching ONTRAM's file export functionality video tutorial. Thanks for your time and attention. Whenever you have any question, please don't hesitate to contact us via live chat or by email at support@ontram.com.